In this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 common mistakes newlyweds make and how to avoid them. You know, before you get married, you had already planned how you are going to spend the rest of your married life and everything, that you get so excited and equally have so much fantasies. But then, when you get married, you will find out that those excitement distract you to doing the most important things that should keep the marriage going. Have you ever wondered why some people get separated just few months after wedding, or even get divorced? So stick with me as I share these very 5 important points with you. Meanwhile, if you are just coming across this channel for the first time, please do not forget to subscribe, like, or hit the notification button for more videos. Mistake number 1: reacting negatively when your spouse needs alone time. Yes, this can be a very serious issue, because most times the people who are more outgoing usually settle down with very reserved people. That is the common term. I just want to use it that way so that everybody will understand what we are talking about. So most times you find out that the reserved ones usually like alone time, just to think, to process their inner energy, to just enjoy a space. While some of us who are outgoing won't understand, it actually happened to me. The first weekend we spent together in the house, I was expecting my husband to be all over me, just the way we used to be before we got married. If I go to visit him, we sit to watch movie together. If I have to go somewhere, he will see me. You know, that kind of togetherness. I was expecting it to continue. And I have soon forgotten that I usually come to visit just for some minutes or an hour, and I would just go while he have his own time and continue his life. So I expected that flow to continue. Today he came back and immediately I served him food and he finished eating. This guy just went to the room. I said, "Can't you come and join me? This is your favorite movie." He said, "No, I want to rest." He did this repeatedly, and I began to wonder, did I do anything wrong? Have I offended you? What happened? What have I done? Please tell me if I have done anything wrong to you. He said, "You didn't do anything wrong to me. I just needed alone time." I didn't get it initially, but while we continue into the marriage, I discovered that when he finished his alone time, he himself will come and join me wherever I am to continue the day together. So I found out that clinging too much into your spouse, whether male or female, sometimes the male are reserved while the female are going, while sometimes the male are going while the female are reserved. So there will be this kind of thought and clash from time to time. But once you understand that your spouse need time to process and relax themselves, you too should be doing something, engage in doing something that will distract you from not even noticing that this person is observing his alone time. And even to you, the outgoing one, sometimes being alone helps you to equally think and process some very important thoughts. Too much clinginess can actually cause lead to frustration. So the best way to avoid this is to allow this person alone time whenever your partner needs it. Please provide it without too much complaint or nagging. Mistake number 2: expecting your partner to change now that he is married to you. Wow. I don't know how men do their own, but I had my own expectations. There are things I saw when I was dating with my husband, but I was like, if he loves me this much, once I get married to him, he's going to change this part of him. I'm going to help him change that part of him and all that. But my dear, if you don't want crisis in your marriage, anything you observe while you are still dating, please discuss it as a matter of concern. You people should iron it out and know how to handle your differences even before you start, because no one actually changes anyone except that person want to change. It's only God that gives grace to change. That is why you see so many couples having so much misunderstanding. An adult that was already formed from his mother's womb and house, he has already formed, he was a full-fledged adult before he came to marry me. Why will I think I should change him? You understand that kind of thing? So anything you don't like in your spouse, you should iron it out, discuss it, so that if you cannot cope with it in marriage and he is not willing to make amends or learn and change some certain things even before you get married, there is no need of proceeding, especially if that aspect you want that person to change is a very serious way, like womanizing. Yes, I have had some women say once I get married to him, he will stop womanizing. Some of us give reason that men womanize because they are not married yet, and once he marries me, he will stop looking outside. And we have so forgotten that discipline starts from when someone is not married. A man that cannot discipline himself as a single man will continue to cheat when he gets married, because the man is just graduating from fornication to adultery. And when you have settled down with him, you cannot complain because you knew that he was that way before you got married to him, and you never bothered to discuss it with him or to raise an alarm to know if there is a way this thing can be handled. So there are so many sensitive things that can lead to destruction of marriage. Once you notice them and you cannot iron them out, it's better for you people to go your separate ways. They said that broken engagement is better than broken marriage. So let us be guided. You cannot change people. People can only decide to change and improve on their character. Mistake number 3, don't forget your friends and individual families because you are married. Most people used to stop living their lives. We think that when we stop living our lives, marriage becomes better. We get married, and in fact, some people stop attending fellowship. Yes, some people stop attending functions. We are not trying to say that you should be all out there as if you were single. No, there should be boundary in everything. Nobody should stop existing because they are married. You should find the way of striking a balance between your friends, family, and your spouse. So when there is a function to attend with your family, you should do so, but do not forget to plan your family while you are doing so. Your family should not suffer hunger and disorganization because you have convention to attend. You should set boundary of when to attend vacation with your family. Once in a while, all things being equal, I usually visit my mom when the children are on long vacation. So all those bonding should not end just because you are married. But some of us automatically put an end to it, even when your spouse is not necessarily influencing you to do that. You think by doing so you are pleasing your spouse, or you are making your spouse to know that you are dedicated to him. No, you came from a family, and you should maintain a healthy relationship with your family members and healthy friends. Yes, there might be need to cut off some friends that are negatively influencing your marriage, but that doesn't mean that you should not have a friend or friends that comes to your home. You should have friends that want to come over from time to time, and friends you would like to visit from time to time, but that doesn't mean that you should do things out of proportion. And the ones that are not healthy for you are equally advised to be cut off. Mistake number 4, establishing some boundaries. Here I'm not going to be talking about personal boundary, but we are going to be looking at us. You are going to put your spouse into consideration when you are establishing this boundary between family, friends, and associates. So now you draw a line to what you can take from anyone, from outsiders, because prior to your wedding, before you take decision, maybe you have a confidant among your friends. So now that you are two, all those kind of boundaries had to be set. Your business is no longer for the public because you are now one. So you have to put your spouse into consideration before taking decisions, before making consultation that had to do with the both of you. Both of you have to be in total agreement before executing anything, and both of you have to have a common agreement on who to allow into the home and who not to allow into the home. That is why it is about us, not about me. If I'm okay with someone coming to the house and my husband is not okay with it, we should discuss it and establish why this person should not come, and have a common ground so that there will not be chaos in the home. So discussing matters like this and setting a healthy boundaries on outside interference is very important. Your in-laws should not run your family. Your friends should not interfere in how you run your family. Your associates should not interfere. So this boundary should be very healthy and equally in moderation. Take number 5. Accept that your spouse still make mistakes. Yes, I remember the first time I did something very hurtful to my husband. He was shocked and he asked me, I never knew you could treat me this way. I never knew you could make such a grievous mistake because of how highly he placed me. He has soon forgotten that I'm just human, a mere mortal. And he too, I had certain expectations for him. I placed him high above his capacity as human being. So many chaos, you see this person as a perfect being before you get married, but it is the worst mistake that can happen to anyone who is intending to spend forever with his partner, because soon enough you are no longer coming to spend 2 minutes, 2 hours and leave the house, or just a day. This is living every day of your life with this person, occupying the same space. So you have invited each other, please come and take my space. I want you in my space. So because you want that person in your space, there is no way there will not be mistake. There is no way there will not be misunderstanding. And human beings are imperfect, are bound to make mistakes from time to time. The way to avoid this kind of trap is to give room for your partner, give room for mistakes. You should be accommodating whenever mistake is done by your spouse, so that it will not look as if somebody killed a fellow human being for committing a certain mistake. We should know that we are not we are all imperfect. It's only God that is perfect. Once you have that at the back of your mind, you will not want to crucify your spouse for making some certain mistakes. And don't say that this mistake is too small, it's too unacceptable for this level of person. You will be surprised that that person might not even have idea that he or she is making mistake, because that person came from different environment from you. That person was not raised the same way you were raised. So for that reason, give allowances in your heart for this person to be accommodated whenever they make mistake, because that partner of your soul is accommodating your mistake. Yes, the fact that some people don't complain as much as others do doesn't mean that the other person is not making mistake in marriage. Let us learn to live in peace. And as a newly or intending to wed couple, if you come across this video, just learn, prepare your mind not to get married like in the movie. Prepare your mind for reality actions, because marriage is a place of reality where two different people live together, occupy each other's space and do everything together. So for that reason, there is no room for unnecessary fantasy. All those things, yes, we have romantic fantasies and all that, those ones are different, but we should avoid to expect our marriage to meet up with certain movie standard. Our marriage is as real as possible. If you are just coming across this channel for the first time, I am Coach Zara. I teach women how to do marriage based on God's standard and perspective. Please do not forget to like my video, share and subscribe.